cerebral brain
Cerebral
fluid.
brain fluid. Blaine fluid?
Yeah.
David Blaine, Street Magic. Hello, everybody. Welcome to NameCast. My name is Nathan, and beside me is...
Kevin.
I'm going to call you the best beard in the business, Kevin.
Beard.
You're the best beard in the business.
Cool.
Young
Sounds
man.
nice.
You've had this beard for... How long have you had this beard now?
I don't know. It's weird to call it a beard because I trim it down a lot.
Yeah,
So
but
frequently, but
not always.
not always. No, because I really don't like shaving because it's a giant pain in the ass.
It's not. I love shaving. It's probably one of my favorite things to do.
Weird. We
Yeah.
have very different opinions about shaving.
It clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly
But,
very different opinions about shaving. So,
Yeah, no, I've had at least some like there for
okay.
probably like a year and a half.
Oh, it's been more than that, buddy. You started growing it out like in your 4th year.
I definitely brought it all the way down when we were at the last house.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so sometime
I don't really look at your
last
face that
year-
often, so I don't know.
That's fair.
Okay, so,
I've definitely gotten it shortened up multiple times.
right.
But I think it's been about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a bearding thing for a while now. So this is our podcast that posts every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have Let's Plays that go up at Things Are Tough Sunday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Great day order.
Thanks, dude.
Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Cool. So we got a great show lined up for you guys today. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We're going through the job postings of some big studios to try and analyze and see
Ooh.
what the heck they're working
Reading into
on.
things.
Reading into things. Journalism. Gamergate. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the games that we're playing today. And I went on an adventure. And we're definitely talking about that. It's pretty rad. And yeah, this is a fly by the seat of your pants type episode. You know what I mean? This is one of those episodes where you buckle your butthole and you go down. You know what I just did?
What?
I just ignored a call from my mother.
Oh.
The scorn of God shall come down upon me. Oh. So yeah. Cool, man. What have you been playing lately?
I've been playing some stuff.
A whole bunch of stuff.
So normally
Keep talking.
when I play video games, I play just a couple of video games a lot. However, whenever I had to binge on video games in over the Christmas break, I played a crap ton of video games. And that's not normal for me to just play and blast through a whole bunch of video games real quick. So I've gotten back to doing my regular thing where I play a couple video games a lot. The first one of these, Sunshine.
You're fucking speedrunning,
Super
dude.
Mario Sunshine. Learning how to speedrun it. Something I've wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah.
Then I watched Awesome Games Done Quick
AGDQ.
over this past week. And that 4-person Sunshine 80% race
Got you into it.
was sick as hell. And it's just I need to do this.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm progressing along quite a bit. I'm considering doing maybe want to call it a Let's Learn Sunshine.
A let's learn. Not a let's play, a let's learn.
Yeah, because I'll be cutting out a good bit of the play, but I'll be talking a lot about okay, I'm going to be trying to do these speedrunning extracts. Here's the difficulties I went through while trying to learn these tricks and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, so I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, because the big reason why you started doing this, or started wanting to do this rather, is because you were trying to speedrun and learn how to speedrun, and the resources just aren't really there for Sunshine, at least.
You can find some videos that try and teach you how to do it, but a lot of the times they're just live streamed, so you aren't really learning
Right.
really that well because people are just saying it off the top of their head. They're not thinking about what they're going to say beforehand.
Yeah.
And the other thing as well is they give very limited amount of tips. For everything I found, it was just just make sure you do this one thing.
Yeah.
And then not talking about the fact that there's actually 5 or 6 different factors on whether you're going to get this trick or not.
Yeah,
Because
because
that kind of stuff, I want to talk about okay, so if Mario pops up above, that means you probably went too early.
right.
That kind of stuff.
And a big reason they're not giving all the tips is probably because they're just focused on doing it too, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever you get it, they're just doing it, or sometimes you'll get it on a stream where they're practicing something, but usually they're just doing it. So yeah, no, it'll be really interesting to see you kind of take that approach with that, and it's really cool because I haven't seen much of that before, though I haven't really gone out to look for it.
Yeah.
But let's learn how to speedrun games.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad, man. And what else have you been playing?
So I haven't been playing too much other than that. I've been doing a little bit of melee practice. But last night I played for like 3 or 4 hours Stardew Valley.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I just enjoy playing it so much. It's so easy to get lost into. Like the music's just awesome.
Into
It's
it.
like a simple enough game that like I had the Grand Tour on at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a simple enough game that you can kind of watch a show and play it at the same time. My farm is coming along beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real happy?
Yeah. Been growing some, I don't remember what they are. Not turnips.
Petunias?
No.
No
It's
petunias?
not a vegetable.
You're going to get some petunias? That's just a fucking fun word to
Yeah,
say.
it
I'm
is.
not going to lie. Nice, man. I never got into Stardew at all. I don't know why. I sometimes feel the urge to play Harvest Moon games, but then I don't. But they seem like big time sinkers, that's for sure.
Yeah. In a good way, though. It feels nice. It's not like it doesn't feel like you're wasting that time, you know?
Right.
Kind of like the Civ games where you just lose yourself. All of a sudden, it's like, whoa, it's late.
Yeah. Oh, shit. It's 4 a.m. That one more turn kind of mentality,
Yeah.
right? Nice, man. Anything else?
No, that's all I've been playing.
How you been playing? You been up to anything?
I've been watching some shows.
Yeah? Like what?
Yes. So in like 2 days, I watched all of season 1 of Voltron.
Nerd.
Admittedly, it's not that long. But season 2 comes out on Friday. So,
Stoked, eh?
yeah. I'm stoked now that I've seen season 1.
Yeah.
Got a lot of recommendations from coworkers, and
It's pretty good,
we're
eh?
all planning to binge season 2 together on Friday. So that should be pretty fun. And yeah, I've definitely enjoyed season 1. It's kind of nice. It's got a lot of like, so it's based on like the old 80s cartoon, right? But they still have like all the 80s techno music
Yeah.
in like the soundtrack, and it's awesome. It feels
pretty
nice.
rad, eh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and the story's actually pretty good. It is like the biggest impression that people would get that would turn them away from it. So it's like a kiddie type show.
And is it?
The only thing that's really pandering towards kids in the show is like probably too much exposition. A
Okay.
little too much characters explaining what's going on.
Right.
It's really not that bad, but other than that, like everything's pretty maturely themed and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you've seen a decent amount of Voltron, now where do you stand on the ultimate battle? Fuck, I'm sorry, guys. I got a cold. I'm going to cough a couple times this episode. I'll try and move it away from the mic. Anyway, where do you stand on the ultimate battle of Power Rangers versus Voltron? Which is better?
I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't really be compared.
But they should. They're so similar.
Yeah, but one's live action, one's cartoon.
I get that, but they're so similar.
Yeah. But they're different in a very important way.
Every fucking death battle, they're different. It's I don't know which compares better, dude.
I don't know. Voltron is better than the majority of Power Rangers very easily.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of shit Power Rangers.
Yeah.
If you're trying to watch it as a kid, you'll probably like have more fun with Power Rangers, but I think as an adult, Voltron's a little easier to watch.
Because there's only 2 shows, right? That's it.
Well, like less because of that, more just because the maturity of it, and like Power Rangers has a lot of just stupid stuff in it that's like really annoying as an adult that you just don't notice as a kid. Voltron doesn't have that annoying stuff.
But on the downside, Voltron doesn't have Bulk and Skull.
Yes.
And they're pretty cool. Nice, man. Yeah, I never really got into it. Had a Voltron blanket when I was younger. Watched the old 80s show a couple times.
Yeah.
Dug it. Thought it was cool. Never really got too into Power Rangers. Still kind of maybe sort of excited for the movie. We'll see.
No.
I shouldn't be excited for the movie. I'm a little excited for the
bad.
movie. I mean, of course it's going to be bad, Kevin. You wouldn't expect it to be good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what we get from that. So me, I played a game. So buckle your buttholes because I'm going to talk about this game. Now, I played Titan Souls. A lot of Titan Souls.
Way more than I expected.
A lot of Titan Souls. And there may be a Let's Play coming out on the channel of me playing all of Titan Souls. There's a lot of deaths, guys. There's a lot of deaths. I'm going to I'm not going to tell you the number, but I'm going to say it's above 500. Yes. Above 500 fucking deaths.
Titan Souls is like a boss rush game, right?
Yeah.
So you're just like going at the boss over and over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Man, it's something else. But like my favorite thing about watching, editing and watching through the footage, because yes, I did do a face cam. I do apologize. Some of the chroma keying is just kind of blah because I wore a bad shirt and I should have had a backlight on the light. So I was working with a new webcam. But the first couple episodes look pretty baller with regards to that. So anyway, watching through the footage, like the way my face completely changes after beating the boss, because it's one of those games where you don't see any progress really on getting the boss until you get him, because you take one hit to die, the boss takes one hit to die. I mean, there's some little mechanics like, I don't know, maybe they have a shield up and you have to get through the shield. So you have to hit like a power crystal to get the shield down to then hit their main point. Yeah. But like with most of the stuff, it's like you just got to get the arrow in the right spot. And you don't, it's a very defeating feeling.
So is it like Bulletstorm type stuff going on?
Not really. Like there's not a lot of projectiles that come out. It's usually like the boss thrashing about. Like the first guy will just try and crush you. Yeah. Basically. And then they send a couple other guys out, and there's like one where it's a brain inside of gel. Or it's not a brain, it's something like that anyway. And it jumps about, and then when you shoot it, it divides into multiple pieces. And then the gels can kill you, or there's just other things like that. There's one really cool one. It's a brain inside of an ice cube. And what you have to do is you have to get it to stand on a platform, then shoot your arrow. And when it's on the platform, a flame shoots up in the middle. You then shoot your arrow through the flame to get to the ice cube, to melt the ice cube, so that you can shoot the brain.
Nice. That sounds exactly like how physics works.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's really cool actually. Like there is some positive stuff in the game, but what I'm gonna talk about today with regards to this is like, I think it really balances the line and sometimes goes too far on the difficult and fun type thing. Now, people, I had a lot of people recommend this game to me because they know that I like Dark Souls, and the implication of Dark Souls for a lot of people is hard. Yeah. And I think it's hard but fair, and there's a rewarding feeling to keep you going through it. Yeah. Like if I wasn't doing the Let's Play, I would have stopped playing Titan Souls probably around episode 6 when I literally spent an hour going at this one boss. Like an hour. And it's like I died like almost 100 times that episode. Like it's not a fun feeling, but once you get it, like now that I'm looking back and reminiscing on the game, I like it more than I liked it when I was talking to you about it. Like every time I texted you, I was like, I fucking hate this game. It's a piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know. Is that good game design? Like I definitely would have put it down and never played it if I didn't lock myself into the Let's Play.
There's a GDC talk that I watched a few weeks ago. Yeah. And it's all about setting up your game so that the player can learn from their defeats. And he talked about like how he just modified his game design over time to kind of
what game is this?
Incorporate. I can't remember. Yeah. Just remember vague details of the talk. Right. But yeah, so he's talking about like how the original design, the player didn't really understand why it was that they were losing. Right. Like when they won, it felt great, but like if they lost, they're like, I don't know what to try different. Yeah. So I think Titan Souls kind of falls into that where it's, you only get that one shot. Yeah. And it's like either you have no idea how you're supposed to get it, or like you need to hold out long enough to get it, or I don't know, you got bad RNG with some of the attacks or whatever, and you just feel screwed out of it, and you don't really there's no like what did I do wrong aspect. Whereas like in Dark Souls, like you have a bit of health and the boss has health, so you can see progress by getting them down more. You can see it getting chipped away. But one thing I will commend, give kudos to Titan Souls for, is being pretty good about teaching you what it is you have to do in the boss fight. Mm-hmm. Like usually by about the third attempt, I'm like, okay, I think I have to do this.
and I never had to actually look at a guide to be like, how do I kill this guy? I did it once for confirmation, but my assumption was correct.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's a pretty crushing feeling. You're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, it's just kind of one of those things, you know? Yeah. And like, I think if you really science the shit out of some of the bosses, like you can kind of figure out some patterns and things, but they're not the best for that. Like they're not the most predictable patterns, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if I stand here and then jump over here, and this is like after like 30 deaths, you kind of figure this out. He's going to do this attack, and he's either going to go one of 10 directions, and I just have to hope he's in the direction that I shoot at, and if I don't, I'm dead, and then I try again. Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, I understand that makes for a hard boss, but it doesn't necessarily make for a fun one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've learned everything that you can teach me in this, or at least I've learned everything I think I can get away from this. Like, there's nothing more to read into this. It's just I have to hope I'm shooting in the right spot, and if I'm not, I'm dead, and then I have to do it again. And it doesn't feel like that's my fault, because it's not my fault. Like, I'm doing what you taught me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's definitely a frustrating game to play, but you know, I'm sitting here shitting on it, and it is a very nice game. One thing that I definitely maybe effed up on a little bit during the Let's Play was I didn't really have headphones on for much of it, just because I wanted to focus and give good commentary. But the sound in the game is actually fantastic.
Nice.
The boss music is great, and just some of like the overworld stuff is really good. Really nice kind of pixelated art design, and it definitely borrows from Shadow of the Colossus in the sense that your character is so small in comparison to the enemies, and just the world itself. Like, your character takes up, I don't know, probably like 2% of the screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so, you just kind of feel so small in comparison to all this other stuff that's going on. And so it's pretty cool. It's definitely, it's a game you really got to stick it out to beat. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. But it's a bit of fun. I'm trying to think of something else I've been playing here too. No, I think that's pretty much just the game that sucked the life out of me.
Yeah.
It was, it was a long experience, a really long experience, but I beat everything. I then found out at the end that I didn't have to beat near as many bosses as I did to get the ending to the game, but that's okay. I definitely gave my all into the Let's Play. Yeah. Now, Kev, I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
I just came back from an adventure yesterday.
Yes.
And it was pretty fucking rad. I went ice climbing.
Ooh.
Yes. So in Canada, we have a lot of ice. Yes. And waterfalls in the winter turn into massive sheets of ice that idiots like myself decide to strap, basically, like, the best way I could describe them is knife boots onto their feet. Mm-hmm. So they're called crampons, and they clip onto your boots, and they have, like, man, they are way bigger than I thought they were. Probably like 3.5 inch thick, like inch long knives coming out of them, really sharp too. Like, they rip my pants to shreds. And I was wearing 3 pairs of pants because it's cold in Canada. And I think I was wearing like 7 shirts or something. Anyway, so yeah, you just jam your feet into this ice. And then the best part, you have axes. You have fucking axes, dude. And you just gotta keep your hips in tight to the wall, and then you just slam that axe in. And that feeling of when it goes in and you just, and it gets in there, you feel so solid on it. You're like, I could hang a fucking truck off this. Like, it feels so good to get those axes in there. And then you work your feet up and just stick them in, and you can put your whole weight on those things sometimes, and it just feels so solid because they're so sharp, and they have like serrated edges on them too. So kind of like a steak knife almost, and it just goes right in and comes right out. And it's a really cool feeling to be able to do that. And at one point, the way the ice froze, it froze around this big pillar. So there's this big pillar that I could literally just go all the way around in like a freestanding kind of thing. It was really cool to be able to like see the cave on the other side, and water's just rushing into your face. And it was, it's the most fun I've ever had. And I've done a lot of cool shit, and that was really, really cool. I mean, I'm contemplating getting gear. We'll see. I will be leaving the country maybe this summer, so I don't know if I do intend to get the gear. I don't know. We'll see. It's probably gonna cost me like $500. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on the fence if I'm only gonna go like 4 times and I won't be in the country anymore. But really, really fun stuff. Really, really just, I don't know, man. It was cool. It was one of those like, wow, sometimes I do cool shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a pretty cool experience in that regard for sure. And it's interesting too. One of the techniques that someone taught me is you gotta swing like you fuck and kick like you poo. And that's the best way to teach someone how to how to ice climb, because you swing like you fuck, so you got to keep your hips and you basically keep your dick right up to the ice, and shoulders back. So you swing like you fuck, and then you got to get your ass way out there when you're gonna kick. So kick like you poo. You're kind of hunched over like that. I thought that was pretty funny, man. Nice. But yeah, the most badass part. So we had a guide help us out, and he kind of gave us the hookup for when we're going to go later and gave us some tips on where to go and the best places to get in and all that shit. Mm-hmm. And anyway, dude was a fucking badass is the best way I could describe him. Oh my God. So he brings us in there and, he gets us all hooked up. And so he sets up the ropes, and he literally just takes the rope, puts it on his back, and free solos his way up the thing. And if you don't know free soloing, that means he's not clipping into any ropes. Like, if he falls, he's gone. Yeah. And he's just going up there with a bunch of shit on his back, like many, many pounds of it, just ice climbing up these massive pillars with no protection. And he did it like 7 times throughout the day, like just like a badass. At one point, I'm belaying someone from the ground because I have a lot of belay experience anyway. So I was belaying this person. And he's like, their technique isn't quite right. So he just starts climbing up beside them, like by the person. They're a good deal up. They're probably like 15 meters in the air at this point. And he's just like right beside them. He's like, okay, so you see the way my foot is here? And he's just like dangling his foot out. And then he dangles his other foot. So he's just hanging off his axis, like just off of his axis. Like 15 meters up. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? That's insane. So anyway, he's like, okay, you want to stick your foot in like this, bring the heel down. And I'm just like, man, Greg's a badass. he's my spirit animal. Oh my God. So it was really cool to see someone like that. And he's a guide, which is also always something that I've contemplated, well, for at least the last 2 years, contemplated doing. And seeing him do what he does, I'm like, man, I got to get my certifications and become a guide. That is fucking gnarly, dude. Yeah. He's quite a climber. So really cool to watch that. I don't know. It's just something I kind of wanted to talk about for a bit here. Now, I want to bring this into something else before we get into our topic of the show, which is, looking into the studios and all those things. Okay, now, our good buddy, Ryan, watches the show. Mm-hmm. Call him a good buddy because he comments a bunch. We comment back. If you want to have a good discussion with us, just leave some comments down there. And there's usually some great discussions that go on, especially on the podcast episodes. Yeah. There's a bunch of people that chime in. People get, opinions of games, things like that. Really good community there. Really like what we have going on. So Ryan, actually, this was on one of the Shovel Knight videos, but he started playing Dark Souls. Ooh. I thought he was gonna for about the past week, and I think we should give some advice, Kev.
Some advice.
So I'm chatting with him, and he's like, I'm using the Drake sword. I'm like, I was there before. I understand. He's like, I have a good sword now, so I can do it. And the Drake sword, it's okay. It's good for early game stuff. Yeah. But you're better off to get something that scales better with your stats.
Yeah, so Dark Souls, like, this took me a little while to learn whenever I first playing it, is that the gear in the game is like way more important than your levels.
Oh yeah.
So you want to be upgrading your gear, especially your weapons, because you'll actually see a lot of benefit from that. And you can see a long sword get better than a Drake sword just from upgrading.
Yep.
Drake sword isn't really upgradable.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it is, but it's a pain in the ass to upgrade.
It's a pain in the ass to upgrade, and upgrades are like, you get less return on them than you would on regular upgrades.
Yeah.
So yeah, surprisingly, it's like using common weapons, even though they sound so common and lame. They're actually like a really good weapons to use in Dark Souls because how the game works.
Yeah, like longsword's probably one of the best weapons you can use in Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3, yeah, it is is the best weapon.
Yeah, and it's called the longsword. It's the first weapon you get if you start off as a knight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's just some great weapons in there. I mean, and I would also say that moveset trumps damage every time. Having a good moveset, like a moveset that works for you as a player, something that you can, work with in a corridor or that you can do enemy clearing and stuff like that, that's going to trump a weapon that, has a shitty moveset that has big, long swings that does a bunch of damage. Like, especially if you're a new player, a good moveset is always going to beat out more damage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of weapons that people like simply because they have big sweeping attacks and poking attacks.
Yeah.
Because those are useful depending on your environment around you. Like, you don't want to do a sweeping attack in a hallway. You want to poke down the hallway.
Exactly. So I would say, like, the halberd class is great for something like that. The weapon I recommended to him, which you probably expected, is the MB plus 15. I mean, the Great Scythe is just... I don't know. I think it's the best weapon in the game, especially because I tend to go more for dex. You get that bleed build up. You can really get some big damage on the enemies, and you get those sweeping attacks. You get that kind of poke-like attack, and it's surprisingly quick and stupid reachy.
Yeah. It's a really good weapon. I don't know if I recommend it to first-timers because it's difficult to get, too. And
it's
probably
not that
like
difficult to get.
Later game thing for them. Like, as far as they see it anyways.
Yeah, you can get it at the very beginning.
You can. But
it's kind of tough.
Death run where you have to know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, it's tough.
So, I think that just a regular halberd because it's just outside the end of the parish.
Yeah,
really easy to find, and it's a good weapon.
It is a good weapon. It is a good weapon for sure. What else would we recommend to our buddy Ryan?
Don't
trust patches.
Just keep trucking.
Just keep trucking. Yeah, I mean, so Dark Souls reminds me of, that Winston Churchill quote? If you're going through hell, keep going.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those games that it will beat you down. And it's different bosses for different people. For me, I think the biggest beatdown part was probably the archers.
Yeah.
I died to them so many times. And then I finally got to ONS, and they weren't actually as bad as people said they were going to be. But I don't know. There's something that'll just get to you. And you'll be like, are you fucking kidding me? This game. But then just persevere, work through it, and when you finally beat it, you'll look back and you'll be like, this is the best game I've ever played.
Yeah. There'll be a part when you just get it.
Yeah, exactly.
From there on, it'll be dandy.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It's one of those games that, like, I still play it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, I still like to play it. Like, I don't really replay games. I'm not someone who does that. I barely even finish games for the most part. Mm-hmm. Like, I sink my 20 hours in. I'm like, cool. Felt like I got my worth out of it. Had fun. Moving on to something else. But with Dark Souls, I've just played it so many times.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so much fun. It's just, I don't know, man. The gameplay in that game is just so good.
Yeah.
It
feels nice.
Good.
Kind of feels like you're in control and you're playing well.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it's all around. It's real nice.
Real nice indeed. Okay, Kev, do you want to do some sleuthing?
Let's do it.
I want to get sleuthy. What do we want to start off with here? Now, I want to start off actually with Greenheart Games.
Mm-hmm.
So you may know them, you may not, but you may know their Game Dev Tycoon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they have any like popular games other than that? Or?
Game Dev Tycoon.
That's it.
Is,
okay.
I think the only game they actually have out. Let's just double check here. Oh, Tavern Keeper. What is this?
Sounds familiar.
Fantasy Tavern Simulator. Cool. So yeah. So this was a studio actually, probably about 9 months ago. They had a job opening, and I was looking, and I was like, that's really one of the things that got me to be like, I can do this. I didn't apply for that job because I definitely wasn't qualified, but I'm like, I can do this. Yeah. Absolutely. So that's what really promoted me to get into this industry a bit too. And they do remote work with their jobs. Now, they don't have any openings per se, but they do have on their on the website, they're creating a business simulation game, not Game Dev Tycoon 2. I feel like they get that question a lot, the way they phrase it in there.
Just to be sure, this isn't Tavern Keeper that they're talking about, right?
I don't think so.
Let's take a look at it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't think so. I think this is the project they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, it's not out yet. Whoa. Okay.
So yeah, they have a bit of
Wow.
a timeline of like when they want to get things.
Yeah,
done.
we're looking at this right now. Sorry, good podcast material.
So it looks
But-
like right now they're developing in Unity.
Yeah, and the game
Sure.
is 3 times the size of Game Dev Tycoon. Looking for a beta release sometime in early 2018.
Yeah.
Is to look at it. Well, didn't I not do my research there? Okay, let's move on to another studio, which is Sucker Punch Productions. Now, I'm just going to give you time to start to read through this because you are better at this stuff than I am because you actually work in the industry. Yeah. So anyway, we have Sucker Punch, and they've made games like Infamous and Sly Cooper and all that kind of stuff.
Not the movie Sucker Punch.
No, not the movie Sucker Punch. That was, your boy Zack Snyder. What a dude. But they have been quiet since the release of Second Son, and I'm curious what they're up to. I feel like we may get something from them in E3 maybe. And I'm
Yeah.
curious if we can
So-
figure out anything from looking at
Yeah.
just this. What do we
Just
got
a quick
here,
look
Kev?
at what jobs
Yeah.
they have openings for here. A lot of them are just like regular or low level
Okay.
jobs.
So what do we got?
What this says to me is that they're in like full on production for a project,
Okay.
and they need more people to kind of flesh that out.
So you think we may see something at E3 from them?
Yeah, something pretty soon.
Yeah, because I see here we got some senior environment artists, more environment artists, character artists, some sound designers, more
Yeah.
sound designers. Yeah, so it's just
Like,
nothing too crazy.
A lot of stuff that like environment artists, character artists, sound people especially. Like they're
Yeah.
all brought in like kind of late.
Right.
Whereas we see one design thing and it's a junior position,
Okay, so
which is usually kind of more of like an implementation position.
right.
Um,
We do see a programming position here, a gameplay programmer actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're looking for focused, collaborative, professional engineers to implement gameplay features for our upcoming project. We're looking for bright, energetic, and talented individuals who share our love of video games and passion for creating innovative and fun experience. And they work in C++. with
yeah,
some
so I was just looking at the job description because a lot of the times they'll put like information about the game
Yep.
in there a lot. Blizzard does it all the time.
yeah, they're pretty bad for that, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's good too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is good. It is good fun to look through. Absolutely. One that I was looking at too earlier today actually was Yacht Club.
Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Yacht Club Games?
You may know
Is that
Yacht
the
Club
full name?
Games. Yes. And they made your boy Shovel Knight.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I was checking out to see what they have because I know they're working on something.
Yeah,
They got to
have the
be working
DLC
on
in the works
something.
for Shovel Knight.
They have the
but
DLC in the works, but okay, let's see.
there must be more.
Well, see, I thought so too, but just a second here, Kev. I'll figure this out. We can do this, buddy. We can get through. There we go. Okay. I thought so too, but not necessarily. It looks like they're just trying to keep getting content out for the game. What's this build engineer thing all about, though?
So build engineer kind of manages the systems that
Okay.
kind of make the game.
Right.
So it's a lot of the automated systems. Like there needs to be some like shared thing that the game is at
Right.
and getting built on. So basically what'll happen is like all the different people working on it will put in their updates
Okay.
to the game or whatever, and that'll all go to a server, and then there'll be this either the same server or a different server or whatever, however they have it set up. That kind of takes all that stuff and just builds the game on its own and just puts
Right.
out a new version of the
Okay.
game for anybody to go and open up and stuff like that. It's a little bit more complicated because sometimes it'll do stuff like automatically grabbing a Photoshop file
Right.
and converting that into like a PNG or a TGA file
Yeah.
for use in the game, and then like it bundles all those and zips them together or something like that.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's got a bunch of complicated stuff.
Now, what would you take away from that? Anything or so job
They
description? We're
probably
looking.
just need a build engineer.
Yeah. So nothing too
It's
crazy.
something that
here.
you need. Like usually each studio needs one build engineer. I think at the point they're at, this is probably their first build engineer. They just want somebody who specializes.
Right, because
Isn't
it
that-
says here, we're on the lookout for an experienced build engineer / programmer to help our next big batch of Shovel Knight updates and future projects. You'll be a core and integral part of the Shovel Knight team responsible for designing, implementing, and expanding our build systems, creating automated systems to ease the development, testing, deployment, and submission of new builds. You should feel comfortable integrating the build systems with our custom engine, handling programming tasks from implementing build scripts to building automated recording features in our engine. So yeah, it is a contract position though for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So nothing too crazy in here. And then we got a senior artist and a QA tester and just an intern position. So nothing.
It just seems like holes that they're looking to fill.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think that studio's up to? Because Shovel Knight came out a while ago, but it was also a Kickstarter game.
Yeah.
And I know a big thing with Kickstarter projects is getting your pledges.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing sorted out afterwards and you getting your rewards. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's something the whole team was probably working at for a while there.
Yeah. So I imagine they must be in like concepting for a new idea.
Yeah.
Now.
But I feel like it's probably a good ways off, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the next one we got here that I'm intrigued by. Now, we know they're working on stuff. And this, the way Media Malco does this, of course, is very pretty and very cutesy, the way they have their whole page set up. But anyway, so they're hard at work on Dreams. But Dreams is something I feel like is in development hell. It's kind of not being talked about right now. I feel like we'll see it at E3, but it's one of those games where Media Molecule is like, they're artists. That's the best way I can describe it. You know what I mean? Like they do it for the sake of art. Mm-hmm. And I think this project is too weird. I don't know if consumers are going to get it. Do you even know what it is?
Sounds familiar, but I can't really think of what it is.
So you're familiar with Little Big Planet, right?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like a Mario game. You know, it does have a little bit more of dimensionality to it, so you can jump through a couple different planes, but essentially it's a side scroller, and all physics based too, which is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so yeah, it's a side scroller where you can make the levels. And there's a level editor, and you get to make, these cool levels and experiences. And they expanded upon that in Little Big Planet 2, where you got to create kind of systems in there. And there were little logic boards that they implemented that players themselves could then, make tasks for objects. And they could make pretty simple AI that would do things. And they could set up cutscenes and things like that and kind of set up different cameras. And this takes that and pushes it one step further to be in a full 3D environment where you can set up a dream and you can do anything in that dream, theoretically. I mean, you have a very nice sculpting feature where you can make things kind of out of clay, where you can make assets in this environment and you can have the person move around through it in different types of manners. And I'm not entirely sure how how it's going to be fun, I guess, because they're like, look at what we can do in here. But it's like, yeah, but where's the fun? Like, it's a game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems
it sounds to me kind of like a Google Tilt Brush or the
kind of, yeah, in a more gamified way, a little bit
as well.
Yeah. It's really quite odd. So let's see if we can get out of this here. So now, first one is audio programmer. So I feel like they're pretty heavy in development right now, I would think. So we got audio programmer. So anything from that, a server developer. What do you think about this?
Just for online.
Oh, so nothing too crazy here? Yeah, and then we don't have much more. Would you want to look into anything at either of these?
No, it seems...
No.
I'm surprised there's so little, actually.
Yeah, only two. Well, I mean, I feel like they're pretty far in development right now, but I'm curious to see what they're doing right now. So now we got one that you brought up that I think is pretty cool is Psionics. Yeah. I'm just going to give you a chance to read through this a little bit here while I start to talk. So if you don't know Psionics, they are they're a studio that did a lot of contract work initially with Unreal, and they became really good at it. And you may know them for a little game called Rocket League, which kind of blew the fuck up.
Yeah,
to be honest,
just a little bit.
Exactly. So they made Supersonic Acrobatic Rock Power Battle Cars, which was like their first game that they really put out as them. You know what I mean? They did some stuff with Quake. I think it was like Battle Cars and Quake and some shit like that. Anyway, and then they made Supersonic Acrobatic Rock Power Battle Cars, which was essentially Rocket League with more shit in it. Actually, it's not as polished as Rocket League, but
And
Yeah.
less shit at this point.
Yeah, at this point, less shit. But vanilla Rocket League, definitely way more shit. Maybe too much shit. So now that you've read through this, Kev, anything kind of poke out to you a little bit?
It's a weird mix.
It is a weird mix.
Things that they need.
Yeah, I'm interested that they have esports program specialists on there. But I mean, it makes sense for
Yeah.
Rocket League for that type of game.
Yeah, I think they're interested in doing competitive games as a whole. So I think, if they do hire someone who's specializes at like the esports program specialist, like that role there would be
Right.
coordinating with people to make esports events, any kind of contract marketing, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That, is required for doing that stuff. So I'm not sure if they would like open up a role for that if all they needed was for Rocket League. Rocket League's pretty old at this point.
It is pretty old at this point. Yeah, I mean, it did come out in what, like 2015?
Yeah.
So 2 years ago at this point. So yeah, I mean, we'll see there. Anything else interesting that we got here?
It's kind of interesting that they don't really have much in terms of design, whereas like if they were doing a new project, I would expect them to do more design stuff. Like they have a systems designer.
Right.
But that's it, and it just kind of seems like it's a hole
Okay.
that they want to fill.
Yeah.
And there's just a bunch of programmers.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking
Bunch
for.
of
So
programmers.
maybe they're very, very aware of what it is that they want to do next.
Right.
And they're just developing it now.
Now,
That's what my gut would be.
okay. Now they're not very descriptive in their details here as with regards to what you actually do. So I don't know if you can really pull much from this.
About what project it's working on.
Yeah, nothing.
It's like,
Nothing like that. Are there any other studios you want to check out while we're here? This is actually kind of fun.
yeah, let's check out Blizzard. Let's see.
Yeah, so let's see.
Because like they update their job postings all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they totally do. You know what? I'm going to make the executive decision because you're a much better typist than I am. You get the good microphone, sir.
We'll swap.
Woo.
Hold on.
This is an intermission. Intermission over. Oh, it's so weird not to have a headphone in my ear.
Oh yeah,
It's yeah.
that sounds nice.
How the tables have turned. I
can
know,
hear this
right?
Clearly, oh,
It's
wow.
kind of nice to be able to hear things like this.
Wow.
I'm seeing things from a whole new world. A whole new. I'm not going to sing.
Nice.
Okay. So
So
what do we
you're
got
gonna
here?
like
Kev?
edit music into the transition, right?
What's that?
You're gonna edit music into the transition, so it seems like we're professional.
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Well, if I was smart, I would have hit it on the soundboard. That would have been a very radio-like thing to do. But who said we were smart? Nobody. And if they did, they lied. Okay, what do we got here, Kev? What are you looking at?
We have a page loading right now. Which
A page loading. That's weird. We have pretty quick internet, so usually that's not an issue.
Yeah. Well, what that says to me is Blizzard's getting DDoSed right now, which is pretty common.
Oh,
It's a pretty common little thing that happens a lot.
really?
Yeah.
What's a DDoS?
Just a distributed denial of service stack. Yeah, the site can't be reached. They're down.
That's funny.
Do we have other ideas for companies?
Who's top of mind? I'm thinking of Sony Studios right now. I know exactly what Bend is working on. Just give me a second here, digging into the well. I wonder what 343 is working on.
Oh, I have one. A
do you
good
got?
one from Software.
FromSoft. Yes, we have some ideas. You and I actually checked out their hiring list not too long ago, didn't we? Months back, if I remember correctly. I thought we did.
Maybe.
Yeah, so they're working on 3 projects as far as we know. So let's see what? Okay. Let's see what we can take out of here.
This is a weird site.
This is a real weird site.
Cool. They have a few artists and nothing else.
Nothing else.
Concept
Wow.
artists, multiple, and then environment modeler, character modeler, motion designer, graphics supervisor, and graphics management.
So what does that tell you?
So FromSoft does multiple projects at once.
Yep.
So the impression that I get is they have one project that's in very early concepting, or they're looking to start concepting on a project soon, hence the concept artists.
Right.
And they have another project that's in production probably.
Nice. Now, if you want to look it up, there was something that Miyazaki confirmed a while ago that they're working on 3 different projects, right?
Yeah.
Can we check it out and see what those projects are so that we can pull something from this?
Yes, we will do that.
Absolutely. We're sleuthing right now. Okay, now, while you're doing this, I want to comment on something.
People say that games journalism isn't journalism, and I think they're absolutely right. Because you can't really do journalism, games journalism. It's entertainment news is the best way I can describe it. Because if you try and do something like that, like Kotaku, you get blacklisted.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work. So what do we got here, Kev?
So we got a nice little concise article here.
Yep.
So the first project, action RPG with a similar setting to Dark Souls. It's basically all we know. A lot of people are rumoring that it's a Bloodborne sequel because I think there was also a rumor going around that the Bloodborne contract was not just Bloodborne, but actually 2 Sony games.
Yeah. I think Sony would be stupid not to try and get one out of them.
Yeah. Like a Bloodborne 2 would sell really, really well.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Sony would try to like strategically place where that game launches.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
How do you mean by that?
Well, like if they want to ship consoles for some reason, whether they, make a console that's similar to Scorpio.
I don't know if that's going to happen. You think so?
We'll see. I think they might have to just in retaliation because otherwise they're going to have a very much weaker system.
Right.
So yeah, that'd be interesting.
But Nintendo doesn't seem to give a fuck about power.
Yeah. No, they don't. Not at all. That's Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
So the second project is rumored to, he said it's a reboot. It's rumored to be Armored Core.
Yep.
Because Miyazaki's made a lot of comments recently about really liking Armored Core.
He loves Armored Core.
And wanting to do more with it.
Yeah.
He's never actually led the design on it.
No.
His first start was being a designer on it, but he was just a designer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he wants to kind of lead one and make the calls.
Right.
So I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Some mech robots in the Dark Souls universe.
I never played any of the Armored Core games. Did you?
No, I haven't.
No.
I kind of want to.
Yeah.
But he also says it's a reboot, so like, I'm hoping Lost Kingdoms. That'd be sweet.
That'd be rad. That'd be rad. That's one you played, right?
Yeah.
The card-based game?
Yeah, it was like a GameCube game where you threw out cards that were like spells, basically. So,
Yeah.
Summon monsters or do cool attacks and stuff. I found it pretty cool. And there's a lot of weird similarities in that world.
Okay.
Compared to like Dark Souls and stuff. Like it's just, especially Demon Souls, actually. The main plight of the world is that there's this fog encroaching in, and the fog is darkness and monsters and bad stuff.
Right.
Which is the exact same plot as Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
That is kind of funny. Okay, what do we got for the third game now? This one's a little more out there, right?
The last 3, new IP. Different from what the company's been doing before.
Nothing
and
mentioned.
This is the one that they've been talking about the longest, I think.
Okay.
After Bloodborne, they're like, yeah, we're working on Dark Souls 3. But then after that, it's like, no more Dark Souls. We're doing a new IP.
Yeah.
And that's what they were saying all the time. And it's been kind of more recent that we've heard of this action RPG, similar setting to Dark Souls.
So do you think that's what we're getting the concept art for? Or maybe not?
Yeah, new IPs generally need more concept art.
Right.
However,
I imagine this project to be pretty far in development.
Yeah, so they said concept artists and environment concept artists. So a game like Dark Souls would rely really, really heavily on concept art.
I would think
just
so.
to make sure everybody's kind of unified on like the theme and the feel of the game and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, it could be related to that too. This new IP must be getting decently into development though, because it's been talked about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really curious what's coming out of Miyazaki's brain.
Yeah.
His little brainchild.
His little brainchild. Cool. What else we got, Kev? What are you looking up?
So he said 343 Industries.
Is that something you're interested in? We know that it's probably Halo. Chances are.
Yeah, so they only work on Halo. That's what they are.
It is what they are. Now they have involvement in Halo Wars 2, which is coming out really soon.
Yeah.
In
So
February. Yeah.
a lot of the side games they like contract out.
Right. Let's see what we got here.
Sorry,
it's a Microsoft page.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to search through the Microsoft pages.
That's okay. I'll vamp. I'll vamp right now.
Vamp away.
Yeah, I'm vamping. I'm talking
Vamp
about stuff.
on my
I am
wayward
vamping
son.
on my wayward son. We still have our Christmas tree up. It's something that I just noticed the other day.
Yes, we
And
do.
it's kind of funny. Yeah, we may take it down. We may also not. So that's,
I mean, we'll have to eventually. So
will we?
yeah.
When we move. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things I look at it and I'm just like, I don't really care. It is in the way though. It's definitely in the way. And I feel like it annoys the cat kind of. She just kind of runs up to it and she
Probably.
she doesn't know what to do. You know, she's an interesting critter. That cat. She it was funny actually. So had a friend over and she was playing with this laser pointer. And anyway, she wasn't paying too much attention. She was just holding the laser pointer, just pointing it ahead. And the cat, without her knowing, just comes up and smacks the laser pointer out of her hand because I guess she wasn't playing with it right. And it was one of the funniest things ever. Okay, what do we got
Nice.
here, Kev?
So I had to use LinkedIn because Microsoft. But anyways, so it looks like they're looking for a lot of leads and a lot of seniors,
Ooh,
actually.
interesting.
Art
What's
lead,
that tell ya?
lead producer, esports production lead, software engineer, senior multiplayer engineer, and a senior software engineer.
Okay.
So yeah, it seems like they mostly just want to truck on, and they have some positions that are difficult to fill because they are lead positions.
Right.
Usually require like relevant experience. So for like a lead producer for a Halo game, they'd probably want somebody who's been a senior producer on like, I don't know, Gears of War or Call of Duty or kind of a similar console FPS.
Right.
So that makes that position really difficult to fill. So that's, yeah, probably why we're seeing these kind of holes up here. They're more senior positions. Seems like they aren't really doing hiring on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. They should be really far into production on Halo 6 because I believe that comes out this year.
Yeah. Okay, I got to ask you. I'm trying to think of it right now. I remember you and I were both watching something. It was some stream, and he's like, we're hiring right now. And I said to you, I was like, that's the sound of a bunch of resumes going to that studio. Do you remember this?
Was that for 343?
No, it wasn't 343. It was it during the Game Awards or it was during something? A big game came out, and he's like, and we're hiring for this right now. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Oh,
You remember that, right?
sort of.
I sent you a message, and I was like, that's the sound of resumes going off. Fuck.
I don't know. You can try to remember. I'm going to look up Blizzard. Or did we? No, we did that already,
You
right?
already tried Blizzard, yeah.
Oh, right. Website's down.
Website's down. DDoS attack. That's okay. Who are you looking at here? Oh.
Oh, try
Oh,
it
it's
again
up.
and it's working.
It's up. Okay, what do we got?
Cool. So, 229 open positions.
Jesus fuck.
This is
Blizzard's
Blizzard.
so big.
Huge studio. They
So
have all
big.
the money in the world
Yeah.
ever since World of Warcraft came out.
Mm.
I don't even... We have to sort this somehow.
Fucking hell, dude.
Okay, let's look at Diablo first, because Alphabet.
Alphabet.
So really not that many. They're looking for a design manager. What's a design manager? A couple software engineers.
Yep.
They have specified software engineers, so graphics, reliability.
Right.
Art manager, outsource manager, senior UI artist, senior VFX artist, administrative assistant. Oh, you could be a secretary.
Mm.
That actually sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Who could be a secretary?
so
right?
yeah, it's weird mix of jobs.
Yeah.
Let's find out
What
what
else
it is. Design manager works with the game director, design leads, and producers to manage individuals across the entire design department.
Okay.
So they're very much a manager,
Right.
less designer. Yeah, they want management experience, not design
Not
experience.
design experience. Fair
Interesting.
enough. Fair enough. Very cool.
Yeah, that was Diablo. Not very.
Very cool. What else do we have? Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. So yeah, they're always kind of looking for people because like it's a live service game that's probably going to go on for years.
People love it.
Yeah. So FX artist, associate software engineer, and senior software engineer, another senior software engineer, regular software engineer, game designer balance, game designer mission, a metadata librarian.
See that? What the
That's
fuck
a
is
cool name.
What's a metadata librarian? Jesus.
So I'm.
Fuck. That sounds like a data person, like just a super data person.
I imagine there's somebody that works a lot with the what's the word I'm looking for? Analytics, the telemetry that comes in with the game to kind of say like what players are doing,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And from the sounds of it,
What were the
they actually
librarian-
want somebody that's a master of library and information science.
That's hilarious.
So it looks like they're looking for somebody who can like take a whole bunch of data and disseminate it out to people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, which is
That's
kinda
actually
cool.
really cool. I didn't even know a job like that existed.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's
I
a
think-
temporary job apparently, but
Yeah, no, I think doing this was definitely a good idea, man. Like, we learned less about what they're making in games, but more about just games.
Yeah,
jobs.
just like-
There's so much shit.
half
right?
everything's
There's so much shit. Okay, what else we got
Here's
here?
of the Storm, which I haven't
What-
heard much of
What's Here's of
recently.
the Storm?
A monetization manager for the microtransactions.
I don't
Senior
even know
game
what this
designer,
game is.
associate technical designer. They're looking for 2 software engineers, a senior software engineer, a lead software engineer, senior administrative assistant, senior UI artist. So yeah, probably just a lot of stuff to keep the game going.
Okay. What's Here's of the Storm?
It's their MOBA game.
Ah, wasn't that Dota?
No,
Oh, I thought they had Dota.
Valve bought that.
Oh,
Yeah.
10-4. Okay, what are we looking at now?
Now we're looking at Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Lots of art, a lot of character art too.
New characters.
3D character animator, assistant art director for the brand franchise. That's actually a big job.
Let's look at that.
Character modeler, concept artist, effects artist, user interface artist. Yeah, just a whole slurry of artists.
Okay, what do we got here?
This assistant art director. It's not assistant to the art director, so that's pretty good.
Assistant to the manager.
So yeah, 3 years working as a senior graphic designer, 2+ as an art director, or 2+ as an art director. So yeah,
Okay.
they're just looking for somebody really experienced, just kind of like manage the art that comes through, make sure everybody's kind of getting the same visual style and stuff. Because you know Blizzard, they really hit like the visual style, like very uniform.
Yeah. Especially with Overwatch. That game is on fucking point.
Yeah, so they do a really good job of that stuff.
Okay.
Administrative assistant for the money things.
Yeah, all the
and,
monies.
Just a few software engineers.
Okay. Okay. Huh.
Pretty bland.
And
And then the World of Warcraft.
looking at the WoWs. What do we got here?
There's a lot more here.
Yep. Always lots of art.
So they're looking at pretty much every artist's position I can think of,
Shit.
but there's actually 4 technical artist positions.
Wow.
So that's like art mixed with programming.
Okay.
type
okay.
stuff.
What
So-
does that tell you anything? I mean, it's such a big
no,
studio,
well,
but like
they probably do a lot of it because of like spell effects,
right.
and that kind of stuff. It's a lot of stuff in that game. So I'm sure
Yeah.
and there's also been a lot of changes to how models, like character models and stuff, have been done.
Okay.
So yeah, sure, they could make use of a lot of people like coming in to kind of help their old code and make that better.
Right.
They're looking for a sound designer, 3 senior software engineers and 2 regular software engineers, game designer for content, and a senior game designer.
Nice.
So yeah, it sounds like they're probably keeping the team size the same, which is kind of interesting.
I just remembered the studio.
What was it?
Playdead.
Play Dead?
Isn't that the one that made Limbo and Inside? I think it was Playdead Studios. Let's look them up.
maybe.
Yeah. Yep. I think we made all the way through Blizzard anyway.
Yeah. Play Dead games.
Yes. They made so if you don't know them, it actually started off as like a college project with Limbo, from what I understand, and then Inside is a very short game that did some cool shit. So what do we got here?
So they want an experienced gameplay designer, an experienced graphics programmer, an experienced systems programmer.
Wow, not many jobs, but they're kind of a small team though. So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. What do we got here? Now you're looking at the designer position,
So this
right?
is, this is designer.
Okay. What do we have as
So they want
description? Normal designer stuff.
Yeah. Implementing gameplay interactions.
Yeah.
Keen eye for how to adjust a given interaction.
Okay.
Stuff. Yeah. There's pretty generic description.
Mm.
A lot of these times, like you'll find gold in like these like job descriptions of like hint towards what it is they want to be making.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, they do C# and JavaScript. So they use Unity?
2+ years experience with scripting languages such as C#,
so
JavaScript,
they're
whatever.
exactly.
They just want somebody who can script.
Right.
C# specifically experience with Unity. So yeah, they
Okay.
do use Unity,
use
which I think I remember. They did like a art talk on Inside
Oh, okay.
for GDC. You can look that up and learn some things.
Learned some stuff. What else we got here
Graphics
now?
programmer, which
Yeah.
I'm sure they use a lot because they have very stylized games.
Right.
Yeah, just looking quite experienced one, like 4+ years.
Wow. What else we got here?
And this one was a systems programmer.
Systems programmer. So what's a systems programmer do now?
So
Don't say they programmed the systems. I will slap the
I
beard
know
off your face.
that's one of the better ways to describe it, though, because like there's big systems in games, like inventory systems is like
Yeah.
kind of one thing. So that's a lot of data to manage, and it needs to be like saved and like all that kind of stuff and load it like really efficiently.
Right.
The systems program is probably the most generic programmer position. This is probably the one you stereotypically think of when it's like, they're making all of the game stuff work.
Right.
Right. That's a lot of the systems programmer work. Whereas like a gameplay programmer is like, making it so that the player can interact with this thing and like in this way and like making sure that way is possible to interact.
Right. Okay.
Systems programmer is really like making the game beyond it all.
Interesting.
So yeah, Unity. So, yeah,
Cool, dude. Cool.
seems pretty cool. It's such a creepy stuff.
Yeah. Creepy looking site. But yeah, I think we learned a lot today about that shit.
Yeah, that's pretty
Nice,
fun.
man. Nice.
Yeah.
So what else is new? What's up?
Well, let's talk about AGDQ.
Let's talk about age. And how much did they end up raising?
2.2 million.
Holy shit, they crossed 2.
Yes.
Fuck.
They raised more than $1 million on the last day.
Wow.
Insane how much they raised. And
Wow.
yeah,
Holy
it
shit.
was kind of funny. I think one of the big reasons they raised so much was because of the Namco Bandai prize thing. So yeah, it was I think it was Dark Souls 3 for the PS4 that like they kind of centered around, but then it's just like here's a whole bunch of stuff. And a lot of it was actually God Eater stuff. But yeah, like it was a huge amount of prizes.
Okay, so for those who don't know,
for
Kev,
$125.
let's back it up. What is AGDQ?
AGDQ is Awesome Games Done Quick. It is a charity marathon of people speedrunning video games.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like you just get to see so many different games being speedrun.
Yeah.
Over the course of like 7 or 8 days or whatever it is. And yeah, it's super, super cool. It's very, very entertaining. There's a lot of stuff to learn just by watching. It's because people like when they run for it, they aren't trying to get the best times. Like
They're trying to be entertaining.
They're still trying to get a really good time, but they're like it's really entertaining. They want to explain like why this game is awesome to speedrun.
Yeah.
Why is it entertaining and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. But yeah, the main purpose for it is for people to donate while all this is happening, and for Awesome Games Done Quick, the charity is Prevent Cancer Foundation. So yeah, they were raising a lot of money for that. The previous record was like 1.56 million.
Yeah, they fucking crushed that.
They crushed it with 2.2.
Yeah,
Like
that was 2015's
insane.
record. So
yeah, that was a
big year this year.
yeah 2015's record. 2016 was actually lower, so it's like are they like falling off the bandwagon a bit?
And then 2017 was woo,
Huge,
so,
yeah. So yeah, it's really, really good. And I think a large portion of that is because if you donate a certain amount, you get entered into raffles for prizes.
Yeah.
And Namco Bandai like does a huge package of like everything you can want for the PS4, and also like a leather jacket that only 10 of were made for a
That looked pretty fucking
God
cool,
Eater,
dude.
which is like an awesome symbol on the back, and it's like fleece lined too, so it's like actually something you could wear like in winter, and yeah, it seems really, really awesome.
Something that seemed
so a
pretty
lot of people
legit,
donated
too,
for that.
Was they raised $500,000 on people bidding whether or not to save the animals or kill the animals in Super Metroid.
So it was much closer to $2/3 of $1 million.
By the time it was over?
Yeah,
that's insane.
600 some, and yeah, really,
Which
really
one?
crazy. So I think it was Save the Animals. That was one.
Fucking
that one.
shit.
Um,
Kill the animals, save the frames, I say.
yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, there's always drama that happens each AGDQ.
But it wasn't real drama, was it?
Well, this year, like, so what was happening during the Super Metroid run is that there's a lot of weird people into this kind of stuff, and like
I believe
they don't really get social, like acting properly in social places that well.
Oh,
so
no.
a lot of the audience, what they were doing is they were doing the Wario wah during the speed run.
Okay.
Like as a whole, which is this giant annoying sound. And it was somebody on the couch was like, guys, this is really annoying to the runners. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
And
And they kept doing it.
they kept doing it. And then, yeah, one guy on the couch Eventually, what he said is, we're doing it's something along the lines, like I'm paraphrasing. He's like, we're doing this to get rid of cancer, but if you really want to get on cancer, all you guys whining in the audience can just go stand in front of the bus that leaves on the hour every hour.
Oh.
Yeah, so he told a bunch of people to go kill themselves.
Oh.
So he got kicked off the couch.
Shit. He wasn't one of the guys playing, though, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No,
playing.
he was just on the couch.
He was just on the couch commentating.
He
But yeah,
actually got kicked off.
kicked
Was it a whole
off.
thing?
It wasn't that big of a thing. It was just somebody's like, "Hey, come on, take your headset off. You're going."
Yeah, because.
But there was still another guy on the couch who was like really annoyed. He didn't say anything like that bad, but he was really annoyed. Like, guys, stop it. And it ended up making the end of the race like really serious and kind of sullen.
That's weird.
Which is weird because like it's this big fun event, like
Yeah.
especially races where it's like multiple people
Yeah, because everyone was
doing
stoked
this
on that
stuff.
race.
Yeah. So yeah, that was awkward, and it made the Super Metroid run, which is normally one of the most fun like races. They do it every year.
Yeah.
At the end, it made that not as cool as usual.
What's some other drama that went down other years? Any
there
big
was
ones?
some more. Dark Souls is always a bad one, unfortunately.
Really?
There's a lot of assholes that speedrun it.
Okay.
And basically, Bubbles Del Fuego is running Dark Souls 3. And I guess there was a bunch of the Dark Souls runners that got in a Skype call together, and like some of them were streaming. And they
Yeah.
were basically just making fun of his performance the whole time.
Oh.
And there was one asshole in particular. At the end of the run, Bubbles talked about having lymphoma as a kid.
Yeah.
So they were making fun of his cancer.
Oh,
Like,
that's cool.
That's the most asshole thing to do.
Wow.
Yeah, so that guy's Twitch channel's actually been banned
The only
because
runners-
you're not allowed to harass people on Twitch.
Who was that?
Um,
The only ones I know are
can't
like
recall his name.
Distortion 2 and like Mr. Takahashi or whatever. And
So
they're solid as
Distortion
fuck.
was in there and making fun of his run a bit, not
Really?
not the cancer thing. So
Okay.
yeah, a lot of people were disappointed.
Wow, is
Elo
it-
was in the call and did make a comment on him doing something stupid
Huh.
every once in a while, but that's pretty normal. Like
Yeah, Distortion's usually pretty chill, so that kind of bummed me out.
yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, people were kind of disappointed that Distortion and Elo were in there, but like they're like everybody was in here and like I wasn't making fun of them. Elo's like I had the call muted like 70% of the time because I didn't care what the other runners were saying. They were
Right.
way less entertaining than Bubbles up there.
Right.
But yeah, so there's a bunch of drama from that, and like people posted about it on Reddit. It's like, oh, look at how big these assholes are. Like, something you wouldn't realize otherwise. I didn't realize until like the next day afterwards.
Right.
Because like I don't know, it's weird. Why would you watch Dark Souls speedrunner stream of them watching a Dark Souls speedrunner?
That's weird.
Who's
That is
explaining
weird.
everything on
Yeah.
their own. So yeah, it's weird. So yeah, it's weird that like these posts get made to kind of stir up this drama and just call out people for being assholes. And sure, it's good to call people out for being assholes, but like I don't know, only like 1,000 people would have known about the assholeness.
Yeah.
Otherwise, now
But then there's
a lot more
the
people
mindset
know.
that they would have gotten away with it, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know which wins there.
yeah. Well, I guess the guy's Twitch streams gotten banned, so
Yeah, that would
I guess that's retribution.
end career.
Yeah, really.
much.
All those subs gone. You're not getting a paycheck next month, bud. So
Yeah, that's pretty fucking huge. I didn't even think of that. until
yeah.
you said
I
it.
really
Like,
doubt like he's a full-time streamer because it's really hard to be a Dark Souls speedrunner and to have enough subs to be a full-time streamer.
Yeah, but like that's like you're fired from your job and you can't work anymore in that job.
Yeah, well,
Like all that reputation that you built in that job is pretty much gone because those subs.
well, think
may
about: do you
follow
go to work and like make fun of people?
Yeah, exactly.
That's an appropriate
That's
work
not going to
behavior.
go well for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's
I guess it's
exactly what
interesting
that
to
is.
think of something like that as a job, right?
Yeah, yeah, but it should be thought of that way.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And yeah, however, like it was probably one of my favorite AGDQs overall. I just said a bunch of negative things, but I absolutely loved it. Yeah, the Sunshine 80% race was stupid close. It was so awesome just
Oh,
how
wait.
much it was switching back.
You
forth.
meant this time for Dark Souls. They were making fun of that guy.
Yeah, this time.
That guy was super awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
You
shit.
did a great job. Yeah.
And his thing at the end was like pretty heartfelt too. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I thought you were
people
talking
made
about
fun
last
of
year. You're talking about this year.
Yeah.
That guy was chill as fuck.
Yeah.
Huh. That's dickish.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, despite those negatives, there's a lot of really good. Like I said, Sunshine was super awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Undertale was my favorite ending to an AGDQ ever.
Was it
There's
sick?
so many times they end up Final Fantasy is this big 4-hour marathon thing. It's
Yeah.
but yeah, Undertale was really sick. It's like a little bit under 2 hours. The game's actually super broken, which is kind of funny.
Is it?
Yeah. So what you can do is you can pull out the punch card, which brings up this other UI screen. So if you do that on top of and at the same time as another UI screen supposed to be coming up, it breaks things, and it also like changes your movement value.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah.
so basically, it allows you to skip cutscenes and stuff. It allows you to walk around
Yeah.
during text boxes that you're supposed to
Shit.
mash through and stuff. Yeah, which means you can have text boxes up and open next text boxes, which messes up the new text box and kind of ends up with a lot of stuff like that. You still end up going through pretty much the whole game, but yeah, it's really really cool. And yeah, the ending to it was just awesome, like really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess one of the guy that was running it had a really good friend who also runs the game, and he wasn't able to make it. The runner didn't say why. It's just like, I know you couldn't make it. But really, really sad you aren't here on the couch supporting me and stuff. Love you, dude. And then just a little bit after, a donation came in from this guy.
Yeah.
And he explained that he got cancer. He got diagnosed with cancer just a couple months ago.
Okay.
And he decided to stay and just focus on getting treated
Yeah.
and stuff. And he's like, hey, supporting you, dude, and all that kind of stuff. So this is like a really heartfelt thing. And it's like, the donation reader did a really, really good job of like reading out his comment with like sincerity. And
Right.
yeah, it was like a very kind of heart touching moment to
Had the runner
have his
react.
words. And, he was speechless for a good little while.
Yeah?
Actually, just, I think kind of keeping himself contained and stuff. He seemed really happy to have gotten the comment though. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was really really awesome. Yeah, it was a good run too. Like there wasn't any hiccups or anything.
Right.
So
Nice.
that was sweet.
Yeah, no, it's pretty rad that I don't know, gamers get a bad rap all the time.
Yeah.
But we're not all bad.
Yeah.
People do things like that for charity. That's pretty fucking rad.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's probably one of like the best things to come out of gaming. I think for sure.
sure.
This year they also passed 10 million total for all the events.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so $10
Seeing
million
as this started
to help
in
cancer
2010.
research. That's
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
huge amount of research.
Yeah.
It's really really good. I actually think I can't remember the exact details of it, but there was some discovery that was actually found that was specifically funded by
really?
one of the previous AGDQs,
Nice.
which is really cool. I think it was like a cheap diagnosis test that they're distributing in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really, really good.
Yeah, and the thing about charities like that, like, I don't know. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. It's not about the charities, but it's about the end result after. People want to see immediate results. Like, I remember when after the Ice Bucket Challenge thing went down and they found some progress with regards to ALS, people are like, the Ice Bucket Challenge cured ALS. Well, that's not the case. You know what I mean? Diseases like that, like things like that, they don't just get cured immediately. It's chip damage. It's constant chip damage and a long time coming.
Yep.
To be able to beat something like that, but it's very good. Very good.
Yeah.
You're not going to see immediate results, but very good.
Doing great things.
Doing great things. Cool, dude. What time we at there? Oh, yeah.
Hour 15.
I feel good to call it here.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Now, you haven't done this before, but you got to hit the thing.
Ooh.
And then you hit, and then you'll hear, and then you fade it with the little slider. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Cool. Ready to say goodbye?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it. Aw,
Yeah.
shit. Kev's going. Look at this. You did it yourself. Woo. Attaboy. Bye, guys. Have a good one.